Africans in West and Central Africa. As slavery's cruel business spread and as religious laws outlawed dancing, the ring shout and its customs, such as the shuffle, grew in popularity. Its influence can still be felt, heard, and seen in all of Black music today, including gospel.
Calls, cries, shouts, claps, and most importantly, rhythm, the unifying form of worship.
This form has many parts, rules, and experience you could experience by education and entertainment by the only authentic ring shouters in the nation, in my county, the McIntosh County Shouters.
Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me.
And before I'd be a slave, I'd be buried in my grave and go home to the Lord and be free.
And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free.
Amen.
For Jesus more than music.
Ain't that good news?
To Jesus more than visit.
Ain't that good news? Go ahead. With Jesus more than praise. Ain't that good news? Ain't that good news? Ain't that good news? Ain't that good news? My peach group, come on up, peach group.
I heard Black gospel music came by way of spirituals and hymns. It was the protest and hope our enslaved ancestors needed to get through. Ain't that good news?
Ain't that good news?
Cruel conditions, desperate times, spiritual connection.
Black gospel music gave us strength and hope. And it often provided us instructions on how we would overcome our brutal conditions with songs like
Wade in the water,
Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water.
The lyrics to Wade in the Water were published in 1901 in New Jubilee songs as sung by the Fish Jubilee Singers. In fact, the first Black gospel song to be recorded was Swing Low, Sweet Chariot by the Fish Jubilee Singers. The Fish Jubilee Singers were started by me, George L. White, a former treasurer and music professor at Fisk University. In order to raise funds for the university, 9 students left the university to tour the world and share what we now call Jubilee songs. The Fish Jubilee Singers, as well as other quartet singers like the Golden Gate Quartet, helped introduce the world to Black music and the way Black people sung music, gospel or secular, something that had not happened prior to the Civil War.
Jubilee songs were often sung by our enslaved ancestors, are a huge part of why we still sing today. And
ain't that good news? Though Black gospel music would mostly be heard in Southern churches, the societal effects of the Emancipation Proclamation, World War II, Jim Crow, and more led to Black migration in the North. Black Southerners brought their worship and praise traditions with them and deeply influenced Baptist and Methodist churches.
while African American spiritual songs focus on the chorus, gospel music highlighted the soloist with emphasis on beat and rhythm in addition to ensemble singing.
Since its introduction to the world, Black gospel music has evolved, represented the current trials and tribulations, and has influenced and been influenced by popular music genres such as R&B, rock and roll, soul, hip hop, rap, pop, and more. Ain't that good news? Ain't that good news? There are 4 major styles of gospel music that still prevail today: traditional gospel, quartet style, contemporary gospel, and praise and worship.
My name is Thomas A. Dorsey, and I am commonly known to be the godfather of gospel music. I have composed over 1,000 gospel songs, such as Take My Hand, Precious Lord, and Peace in the Valley. I was also a co-founder of the National Gospel Convention of Choirs and Choruses. In the 1920s, I was a bluesy, jazzy-like influence who was also not welcome here.
That's right. However, with the emergence of the radio and recordings, the 1940s allowed gospel music to grow and expand its audience.
Black and white audiences enjoyed gospel performances by the first generation of mainstream artists such as
Mahalia Jackson, also known as the Queen of Gospel. I was one of the most influential vocalists of the 20th century. In fact, my voice was so anointed, I sang for Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., most popularly on his March on Washington Street address. My voice not only sang for justice and freedom in the United States, but also adored internationally too.
I heard her song Move On Up a Little Higher became the first top-selling gospel song. Ain't that good news?
Ain't that good news? We move on to the 1930s and 40s.
And I heard throughout the 1930s and the 1960s, we were considered the golden age of gospel music, period.
Yes!
Blind boys of Alabama, Dixie Hummingbird, the 5 boys of Mississippi.
The clarivoyant singer, the pilgrim travelers, and the angelic gospel singers.
Clearwater.
Willie Mae Ford Smith.
Blind Willie Johnson.
Sally Martin, considered the mother of gospel, the first recording star of gospel music, original soul sister, electric guitarist, Rosetta Tharpe,
And so many more. Each have spread the joy and adversity Black people experience. Ain't that good news?
Ain't that good news? As we move on to the 1950s and 60s.
In the 1950s, by the 1950s and 1960s, gospel sound began to reflect gospel soul and gospel rock, 2 popular genres in secular music at the time. With the changing sound of growing in popularity, not everyone was a fan of a secular crossover with gospel.
Still, the genre carried on, and the gospel choirs were being created and staged all over the nation. Artists and groups such as
Pilgrim Travelers. Roberta Martin. Yes, Mom.
Ira Tucker Sr.
Roberta Martin. Janaya.
Roberta Martin. Yes, Mom.
Edward Hawkins, Walter Hawkins, Tremaine Hawkins.
The Soul Stirrers is one of the most male-enduring gospel groups, and
Sam Cooke. I'm known as one of the most influential singers of all time with my sweet soul.
Amen.
And the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. My album, Amazing Grace, still remains the most popular of all time. Ain't it that good?
Ain't it that good news? All contributed to music and faith to those who listen. Ain't it that good news?
Ain't that good news? As we move on to our 1970s and 80s. The 1970s and 80s also saw controversy and progression, but a subgenre of gospel music was created called contemporary gospel.
Andre Crouch, the father of modern gospel music, with hits like My Tribute and
Soon and very soon, we are going to see the King.
Kirk Franklin, Fred Hammond. Blind and Veiled. The Clark Sisters and so many more will forever remain etched in the history of Black gospel music for generations to come. Ain't it that good news?
Ain't that good news? The 1990s and 2000s up to present day saw a major melodic and upbeat shift, electrifying hits that could not only uplift us spiritually, but physically as well. This is Jamal Caleb.
The following are gospel artists of varying subgenres who too have become household names.
We're going for Caleb right now. We're going to wait for Caleb and Jamal to do our Do You Want a Revolution, please.
Do you want a revolution?
Woo! Woo!
I said, do you want a revolution?
Woo! Woo! Stop!
Today's gospel music elements are rapidly changing throughout commercial demands.
The advancement of social media and the internet further increases churches, gospel artists' desire and appeal to younger generations and more cultural styles. But no matter what we're going through, no matter how it's communicated, we can still hear the same soulful sound of traditional gospel music and Jesus Christ's undying message of salvation.
Amen.
The following are gospel artists of varying subgenres who too have become household names. Reverend James Moore.
Kirk Franklin and Byron Cage.
The genius and profound messages of the Mississippi Choir.
The Georgia Mass Choir. Ty Tribbett, Marvin Sapp, Tamala Mann, Shirley Caesar, the first lady of gospel music, Mary.
Hezekiah Walker, Donald Lawrence, Canton Jones, and Travis Green.
With the style of gospel music, elements of R&B and rap and pop music, all from the way and the form and match chords became increasingly popular with songs that often spoke to all people regardless of their race.
And who are your people, King? Who are your names that you have?
Jill Joe, Lecrae, Derek Minor, and Tripley.
Wande, Limo Blaze, The Spirituals, and last but certainly not least, John P. Keefe.
There are too many gospel composers, arrangers, singers, songwriters, worshipers, and more to name on this day. We recognize the significance of the voices of and messages of those named and unknown.
No matter the style or subgenre created, Bible verses, faith-based devotionals remain at the center of gospel music today.
In 2024 and beyond, gospel music will be sure to shake things up, reflect our world's shortcomings and accomplishments, and will provide a sacred place of rhythmic refuge in our minds, bodies, and souls, just like it has always done. Now, ain't it that good news?
Ain't it that good news?
Imagine a life without gospel music. It was like saying, imagining a world without salvation. Every day may bring challenge and strife.
But oh, what a happy day it is to know that with Jesus, every day also brings redemption and liberation.
Jesus is with us, God is with us.
Oh, happy day!